Hey, thanks very much. 7-Eleven now all this week. We're talking to some of the new faces we'll see on the council. Actually, for District C, it's a familiar face. Kristin Gisleson Palmer reclaimed the seat in the primary against incumbent Nadine Wasserman. It was a close race. Palmer has a multifaceted plan for her new term. And what did I say?
Wasserman.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I already ran once. I don't want to run against somebody
Nadine
else.
Ramsey is the current council person there. Sorry, I don't know where that came from. Here's a quick rundown of Kristin's agenda. Increase the minimum wage, revise current curfew laws so minority youth are not unfairly targeted, support police officer pay raises, and appoint the appointment of a police chief with community policing experience besides investigating the city's current pumping and drainage system. You have a long list of stuff you want done.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot to do.
First of all, you know, one of the things that's been a big problem in the French Quarter, which is part of your district, a very big part of your district, has been the tearing up of Bourbon Street.
Right, that's been horrific. And I think the reason a lot of that we saw that was that obviously it wasn't planned correctly. It wasn't bid out. You know, the job was within an existing contract. And, you know, it's a very complicated job. And so it really needed to be engineered prior to that. I think luckily the phase 2 of it, hopefully all of that will be done beforehand. And I do think we have to pay attention to communications down there. Not only is it the economic corridor, but, you know, a lot of the businesses throughout the French Quarter were negatively impacted.
And since you represent Algiers, the CBD, and the French Quarter, I mean, you have a lot of varying problems that you're looking at.
Right. This district is fascinating in that it's the only district that's actually reflective of the city in terms of racially, socioeconomically. It's urban, it's suburban.
It's the main part of tourism.
Right, it is. It's the heart of the tourism, but then we also have wonderful Algiers, and so it really is challenging and wonderful to represent.
And let's talk about some of the big things. I mean, crime, of course, is a huge issue, and the Sewage and Water Board. I mean, obviously, a lot of things have gone unchecked with the Sewage and Water Board and the Department of Public Works for years, considering a lot of those catch basins, which are the responsibility of the Department of Public Works, have been neglected for more than a decade.
Well, yeah, and especially I think the accountability is not there. I think when I was in office last time, you know, I sat on the Sewage and Water Board to get the politicians off, and I still stand by that decision. I do think there needs to be greater accountability. However, I'm not necessarily sure that politicians have ever been in a position to provide that on the Sewage and Water Board, because this issue did not just happen over the past 4 years. It's a systemic, generational issue of neglect.
And I assume you need people on the board who actually know how the system works,
yes.
are really full-time at that.
Right, and I think before we even make any of these decisions, we need to have a forensic audit. We need to know exactly where the money went, if there's money left over, where it is, because before we can even move forward, we have to know exactly what the books say. And I also think there's a huge distrust right now with Sewage and Water Board. So any type of, you know, a lot of people's first response is going to be to throw money at a problem. That's not going to help. I mean, we have, what, 400, almost 400 open positions at Sewage and Water Board. They're not even in a position to expend the dollars that they have, let alone put more money into that problem.
But there's a problem with trust with city government in
general.
Total. And, you know, a part of that was because, you know, obviously it's going to take money to do the Sewage and Water Board, to upgrade the police department, things like that. And then you have the issue with the council people with those credit cards, and it does make a trust issue.
It is a trust issue, absolutely.
What is your position on that?
On which one? You just threw like
the
3.
credit cards.
Well, I had my own policy, which was you lock it in the top drawer, and then we used it for expenses in terms of office expenses. I think that the problem is that there was no policy. So I think there needs to be a policy that's applicable to everybody. Unfortunately, I think a lot of times when folks are in office, they're treated differently, and they feel that they don't have certain policies. I think we forget that at the end of the day, we are employees of the city of New Orleans, and we should have a very clear, concise set of rules, just like everybody else does. And so I think that the first step we need to do is to have a very clear, concise policy for that is conveyed to the public. And
now let's get to crime. Obviously a huge problem in the city, but especially when it happens in the French Quarter, it makes international news.
Yes, it does. I think we've had really good responses with the task force that operates down there. Both the residents and the businesses really like that whole system. I mean, it's based on an app, it's highly responsive, but right now it's only operating a minimum number of shifts. It would be great to really expand that. I think one of the problems right now in the French Quarter is that there are many different jurisdictions that are all policing in the same area. And so I think we have to look at how those resources are deployed and make them a little bit more effective. I would like to see the task force expand to a 24-hour service that covers the entire French Quarter.
Because it's a special place and a harder place to police than other parts of the city.
It is, but it's also very finite. You know, it's only 0.75 square miles. I mean, it could be a very easy point to do it and I do believe we have the resources there. I don't think we need to get any more resources. I just think they need to be deployed more accurately.
And quickly, a lot of times people in Algiers think they're the forgotten part of the
Absolutely, and in a lot of ways they're absolutely correct. We do not have the same type of resources, especially post-Katrina, that other communities have. We are segregated from the city through transportation. It takes an average an hour wait between buses to get to work. The number one reason why folks are laid off of work or fired is because they're late for work. You know, you saw the fight that I had to do just to get a bridge over railroad tracks, so we're not further segregated.
So that's going to be a big issue for you then.
Transportation's a huge issue because, you know, we have systemic problems in this city, and they're all connected, and they're based in inequity. And if we don't thoughtfully deal with them, we're going to be in the same problems that we always are. So Algiers needs to have better transportation options. We still have good, affordable housing on the West Bank. It's a wonderful place to raise your family. And we have issues with blight that are very different from the East Bank. And so we need to have a certain set of issues. I'm having community meetings right now and listening meetings throughout Algiers so that we can formulate our plans hand in glove with the community.
I wish we could go on for it.
We could go on a lot.
But you hit a lot on Algiers. All right, thank you very much. Tomorrow we'll meet the new councilwoman for District E, Cindy Wynn.